Hey, hello everyone, this is your host Story of Speedruns, and welcome to this manager interview featuring the manager of the Void Villains, FC.
Hello.
Great to have you on, FC. So,
Thank you. My second interview. Last one did not lead to good things, but hopefully this one leads to good things.
well, we'll see to it during the tour. So, okay, to start off, can you give me a bit of your history and background with Ubers?
Uh, I'm the cheerleader. I think I'm the longest. I'm one of the longer cheerleaders in Ubers. Uh, I've managed this tour how many times? Four? I think four. This is four. Uh, Last year sucked. The years before that were pretty good. So this year I'm hoping it's good again.
Alrighty. So, speaking of speaking of the last 4 years, what motivates you to come back and manage the villains year after year, even when things didn't go your way, especially last year?
I mean, I'm gonna play this tour anyway, and I feel like, well, why not manage and just try and be the one who makes the team around me instead of just hoping I get put on a good one? Like, I'll still get to play. I'll self buy every year, and I can just slot myself wherever I feel like. So I don't know. Like last year did suck, but I do want to win eventually. So I'll just keep going at it.
Okay. So this year, how would you say the draft went for you? Like, is there anyone you want to get that you maybe weren't able to get? And how do you feel about the team you were able to draft?
So going into the draft, it was like we only we really gave ourselves like three options, and like we were not going to allow it to go to anything else. It was number one, get hack, which he was way too expensive. That wasn't happening. Number two was get conflict. He was way too expensive. That wasn't happening. And then number three was get Goatheart and Byron. And we didn't really have an order of what we preferred. We were just like, okay, one of these is going to happen. And it did end up going in the order I said, because that's when they got nommed. Because I figured it would be hacked and conflict in that order. And then we ended up with Goathart Byron, which I was more than fine with. Like they're both really strong and they're both doing really well so far. So like one of our main plans for the main core went just as we wanted. And then from there we just kind of got people that we liked. Like I think everyone we got was somewhere on our planning sheet, and like most of them were like the highest priority slot that we had.
Alrighty. So, alright, so speaking of doing well, how do you feel about your matchups in this tournament? Is there any particular team that you feel has been or will be tough? And ditto for easy.
Uh, well, this interview took a while to get done because I kind of messed up the first time we tried scheduling this with Dawn, but this would have been a better question start of the tour. But either way, we got cooked week one, so that's a hard matchup. But if we play them again, we will win. It was against the Dialgas, and that's the only week we've lost so far. Hoping we keep it that way, but I guess so far I would say they were the most difficult because we didn't beat them. And then like I don't think there's a particularly easy team to beat. Like I know there are the two teams in like fairly clear last being the Drizzlers and the Durians, but the Durians still have like they have like Hack and then a bunch of X Factor players who like could do really well. And then I think the Drizzlers have only lost 7-5, which like all of their weeks are super close. They're not a terrible team. So I don't think anyone is like horrendously bad in this tournament. There aren't any like completely free wins to be given out.
I see. Well, I guess we'll have to see how your matchups go in the how your matchups play out. So, can you tell me a little bit about your co-manager, Evuelf? I know he wasn't able to make it, but
Yeah, it's kind of late and he's French, so he probably wouldn't be able to. But like, I didn't know who I was gonna manage with this time because a while back, Mitana had said that he didn't really have too much interest in running it back as a manager, and now he's playing in the ADV slot, so that makes sense. And I was just like, I want to ask someone who can cover a lot of the places I'm weak in, and is just good at the game. And Evil Elf is like maybe the best Ubers player right now across all gens. So I was like, finally, I don't have to be the one trying to support a black and white player because I have had to do that a lot, and I'm really bad at that gen. Uh, and he can cover like most of the old gens while I do the current gen stuff. So it just kind of worked out really well.
Okay, and this is more of a you specific question, but why did you decide to play best of three specifically?
Um, because it was easier to get an SS player. That's kind of it. Like I went into the tournament wanting to play SS. I was like in our planning sheet, I made a lot of plans with me and SS, and then I made a couple with me in best of three. And by the time we got to it, it was more just like I didn't see a best of three player that I would like that I would want so much that I would spend a lot on them and then move myself to SS. Whereas I saw SS players I could get for 3K that I could trust and I would play best of three. So like that's why I picked Addison for 3K. I really had faith she would do well. She just didn't like click with the tier. She was just saying like it wasn't her style, so I was fine with that. And we had Avarice for 3K also. So I was like, okay, he can play, and he's 3-0 in SF so far. He's doing great. So it was just kind of like the circumstances of the auction were just I think I can support an SS slot for cheap really well, and if I played SS and put someone in best of three, the best of three pool is pretty good. So I feel like I would have to spend more. And we just couldn't really at the time of when we were getting our SS players.
Gotcha. S- Speaking of slots, do you feel like there's any, do you think there's any gens you may have skimped out on? And if you were to do the draft again, what would you have done anything to, specifically target those weak areas more?
Well, like I think objectively we skimped out on gens 1 to 3 and Gen 8 because we spent 3K in all four of those tiers. And it's like our Gen 8 is still doing fine. Our gens 1 to 3 aren't doing as well. But I don't think we drafted bad players. I think like with GSC, I think the top end of GSC is just really strong, and it's like we can get some wins there. I trust that, but keeping up with like one of the better records is difficult, and you see people spend a lot of money there to do that. Um, RBY is RBY. Like I think we can come back and do fine. Like our record isn't great, but we've switched between players, and Maris got our first win, so I think she can probably continue from there. And then ADV, we have one dead game, so our record isn't as bad, and we're trying Fiend there this week because Irie wanted a break, which is fair. And I think Fiend is knowledgeable enough in ADV and a good enough player to be able to make it through with the support he has. So like it's like yeah, we did spend less on a couple gens, but I don't fully regret it. Like I think we can still, even in the ones where we have a worse record, I think we can still make do and get some more wins from there.
Alrighty, righty. So, I think that wraps up this interview. Thank you very much, FC, for coming on and sharing some stuff with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah. And thank you for watching. Bye.